Hey everybody, it's your favorite gal pal, Scarlett Cyanide, and welcome back to another Scarlett Cyanide's Sit and Sip. As always, I am joined with my very lovely co-host,
Jordan. I'm also here.
Yes, looking fabulous, by the way. I'm obsessed with the pink brain.
I wanted to get ready because we're starting the pink bracket. I don't own a lot of pink. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're looking fabulous. I love your very on color brand as well.
Just throw a couple things on.
Much like Mrs. Butthole Kollins, I've got my zebra print going on.
Yeah, you look like you could be part of the Butthole family.
But I've got my pink Adore Delano button.
Oh,
there's little bits of pink in here.
Yeah.
So I did my best. I wanted to add something else, and I just kept thinking and thinking and thinking, and I just couldn't think of anything. So this is going to have to be good enough.
I love it. So as you said, Jordan, this was the kickoff of the pink bracket number 2.
Bracket number 2.
And I know this bracket has been highly anticipated.
Yes.
It's the girls in this group are so just
shady.
Juicy, good, and shady.
My God, and they do not disappoint. This is just one episode.
This first episode of the pink bracket, I immediately looked at you and I'm like, RuPaul's getting her Emmy back.
Oh, yeah.
I love it that we're kicking this off with a ball, the 8-ball.
8-ball Eleganza.
And the guest judge was really cool and honestly the perfect judge.
Oh, yeah.
For this challenge, Suzanne Barsh, who is an icon of New York nightlife and threw balls and I think still throws balls and
influential for the club kid scene, which we know Ru loves.
Right.
Ru loves a club kid moment. Yeah.
So with all that being said, Jordan, let's grab a seat and take a sip. And let's get into this first episode of the Pink Bracket.
Pink Bracket.
So right out the gate is Miss Tina Burner herself from season 13. Really? Okay, so Miss Tina, we're going to talk about her.
Yeah.
She really surprised me this episode. I was also pleasantly surprised that she didn't walk in anything red or gold. She has kind of moved past red and gold, it seems, but then ironically in this challenge, she's back in red and gold, but it's fine.
But it's good this time.
It's good. Now, next up is somebody that I am so excited to see, who's Kerri Colby.
Beautiful, just gorgeous.
Oh my God.
herself.
Yes, Tranos is back. She's back. That suit that's like wrapped around her.
That was so cool.
Suit illusion.
The suit illusion is...
Yes, like she's like, yes, the beautiful mannequin and somebody's like just constructed like, cool thing on a mannequin. Right.
Or like a paper doll thing.
Yes. The alliances have already started popping off.
Immediately.
Yes, we have the Texas Girls Alliance. And then we'll talk about some of the other alliances too, which is just so entertaining already. Now, next up is Nicole Paige Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia, which I really wish they'd play that exact clip of her saying that from season 2. They haven't actually played it yet. I am beyond excited to see Nicole Paige Brooks back. Her just being here is a treat and a gift, and anything I get to see from her, I'm happy about.
She's filling the same thing that I got from Phoenix that I need, which is the one girl with the accent.
Yes, that's real. I love Nicole because when we already got a big taste of it in the initial workroom moments, and that is Nicole is kind of this living, honestly, historian of drag knowledge and drag culture and things. She's already giving so much just good, old school Queen reads, funny, quick commentary. Yeah. She was gathering Little Miss Jorgeous. Okay, come on, MIB.
Come on, Men in Black.
No, Mistress Isabell Brooks.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Season 15.
Yep.
My soul is rejuvenated. I have been dipped in the holy waters of Mistress Isabell Brooks. Yeah, she's a
girl who's Isabella.
Girl, who's Isabella? Started out by saying when RuPaul asked her, what is different about you since the last time we saw you? And she said, nothing. I was perfect then. I should have won then.
You should have crowned me, is what she said.
You should have crowned me then. My soul left my body.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But, oh my god, yeah, I'm so excited to see Mistress Isabell Brooks again. She was so amazing in 15.
Yeah.
She was killing it in this episode. She was so funny. She was so nosy. Yeah. Especially when they had to talk to Ru. And she just wanted to nose in on what everybody else was saying.
Like, you're cutting up with Ru too much.
I don't like it.
Too much for my liking.
I don't like it. You guys can't be friends.
Right. Let's talk about the fact that Mistress is also playing mad strategy of, I'm going to make an alliance with every single person, see how these girls act, and then I'll act accordingly.
Yep. He makes it sound very reasonable to just create alliances with everybody then just do whatever.
And in the first 10 minutes, I feel like she already had successfully made an alliance with 4 or get math. But yeah, 4 out of the 6 girls, well, including her. So 3 out of the other 2, the 5, she had made with the majority of the girls. So, all right, babies, the butthole is back. Bottoms up, Lydia B. Kollins is back, baby, in her potato sack dress fantasy. She's already, asking Mistress if she can be her drag daughter, which I love. Further proof that Mistress is kind of the runaway girl this season.
I wonder if the B at any point ever stood for Beetlejuice, and that's where Lydia came from.
Oh, I could see that. She gives Winona.
I could see it. I'm just curious.
You look like you could be a Butthole Collins family member with this whole ensemble today, which I still love, by the way.
Sorry, I should comb it over. It'll look fuller.
You're so silly. So how do you feel? I know you have to be excited about Lydia being
Oh,
back.
Of course. I'm so excited about it. She's got momentum behind her. She was a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Clearly. Because she didn't even get much of a break.
All right. Littlest, but not least, we have to welcome back Miss Jorgeous.
Gorgeous Jorgeous.
Yeah. She was born for Drag Baby, and she was born for All Stars because this is already her second trip back to All Stars. She's gorgeous. And as you can see, Ru loves her.
Yeah.
Ru eats her up like she's like a little baby hors d'oeuvre, and Ru just ordered 20 of them at Applebee's.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever.
Anytime.
She's the whole platter, baby. Now, already, she, in my opinion, has had a big glow up in looks. Even from All Stars 9.
Even from last year, wow.
Even from All Stars 9. Actually, a lot of people, I loved her looks, but I know her entrance look for All Stars 9, a lot of people just didn't like. They didn't think it was I don't know, doing it enough for them. Entrance look was one of my favorites.
It was incredible.
Yeah, it was giving you showgirl, but ballerina,
but elevated
French
for both.
Silk. Yeah, exactly.
Elevated for both things.
She was cracking me up because, she wasn't really involved in a lot of the drama in the episode, but her reactions, anytime the girls were cutting up, they'd, cut to her, and she'd be she was just making, the funniest little
She did
faces.
always have good pieces to camera.
Yeah, so she is just so funny. Oh, my God. And can I mention, when she called herself a daddy now, because she's like, I'm 24. I'm
daddy now.
I'm basically a daddy now. I was like... All right, now, before we get into the Maxi Challenge, speaking of craziness and drama... And I have to quote Bosco when it's everything is fun and games with a drag queen. It's not real until it's real.
And then you don't know if you want to be there or something like that.
Right out the gate, Tina Burner and Mistress Isabell Brooks. Ooh, and this whole rainbow wig gate. Mm-hmm. Tina, she's mad about it.
Yeah.
And, that some people that do not vibe with Mistress's ways or whatever, they're kind of looking at what she does as like very mean-spirited.
Yeah. Just because she's so good at reading and so proficient at
it. So I can already see probably the internet with the both sides of their feelings on this.
Yeah.
But for me, I was just glad to see the drama on TV. All right, so let's get into this 8-ball main challenge. And I, for one, loved the rules and little stipulations of this.
That was good. I loved that.
So what they had to do is literally Ru gave them a giant, 8 ball, like to shake it up and get your fortune.
But like
8 ball,
big one.
But full of, they had 8 either pieces of fabric or trim, like 8 things.
Yeah,
8 things in the 8 ball. And the rule was you had to use all 8 things. They had to be visible.
They had to be visible. Specifically.
Yes, in a high fashion look.
Yes.
There was definitely all sorts of ranges of experience with making outfits, and that definitely came up in the workroom. Now, personally, I think what makes this special in terms of a challenge is I think this is the first time where they've said you have to use all things. Like everything you've been given, you have to use. All right, so let's talk about each one of these runway looks that the girls had to make with these 8 pieces of flair
I loved,
out of their 8 ball.
I loved that part of the judging was you had to come up and before you did anything, you have to show us all 8 pieces.
Yeah.
I thought that was good.
I like that too, yeah. I'm like, you couldn't get away with not using your stuff.
No.
First up, we have Miss Born to Do Drag herself, Jorgeous, giving you, kind of this like sexy, almost like, in a way, a little bit like a Mortal Kombat-esque kind of like gown with this like skinny little like thing in the middle and the like cutouts for the legs.
It's beautiful.
It was really pretty.
I loved her hair. It was very like voluminous black hair, but was still with this nice cascade of curls.
Yeah.
It looked great.
Yeah, it was styled really, really well. I think she did a fabulous job of putting all of her fabrics together.
Definitely.
I actually think she had one of the more difficult 8 balls when it came to
the different elements, and
I do love that in the workroom, Kerri, she was like, we're an alliance girl, I'm going to help you. Kerri was very much pointing out to her like those little fashion-y details that kind of helped guide her on her way. But I mean, I think Jorgeous did a fantastic job of putting this outfit together.
Absolutely.
Next up is Kerri Colby giving you, she said she's going to wear it to Coachella, and I could see it there, giving you like Coachella elevated, big bosomed goddess. While it was scaled down a little bit, I mean, she did have a lot of great elements, a lot of high fashion elements. I loved how she mixed like the braiding and the rivet stuff and the fringe and all of that stuff. But I think what really elevated this look for me was very smart of her was the hair that she chose.
Yes.
The fact that she had such a sculpted like art piece of a hair and it was so big. I think that really balanced this look out and took it to like that next level. Next up is Miss Lydia Butthole Kollins, and she is rejecting traditional glamour. That is her words.
Those are her direct words.
Those are her actual words.
Which is gutsy for a high fashion category.
Definitely. But, Lydia has an awesome point of view in like fashion point of view that Ru loves and appreciates so much. And she has a way of being able to reject traditional glamour and then make it high fashion, make it cool. And I think that's very much what she did with this look. I know, like, Suzanne loved her look and said that she'd wear it herself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And Ru and Michelle really liked it. And, I mean, she was in the top. She was in the top. Not only that was she in the top.
She won.
She won her lip sync. So, I mean, Lydia is our very, very first girl on the board with 3 whole points.
3 points to the butthole.
Yes. How did you feel about Miss Lydia's look?
I just wasn't feeling it. I was confused by it. Now, as far as like kind of a club kid thing goes, it makes sense. And that's why I understood when Suzanne liked it so much and why Ru liked it, because Ru was clearly feeling the club kid energy today, even in her outfit. Even though it was kind of 60s-ish inspired, it was very club kid. So I like Ru when she's feeling her club kid oats because she's a little sillier. But I was just not feeling this outfit from the butthole today. No.
Okay.
Sorry, Lydia. I love you, and I know you're going to do great, but this was not it for me.
Next up is Mistress Isabell Brooks wearing the Michelle Visage collection.
Yeah, with the tiger print, and I loved, it was like this shimmery copper almost on, I guess that was what I wrote. I wrote copper. I didn't know what else to call that.
Yeah.
But I loved it. It was gorgeous, and it was on the gloves, too.
Yeah.
And like T.S. Madison said, could not get over those beads. The beads were everything.
I know. I love that she made herself her little evening bag / it almost looked like a little cauldron. Like she was there to do some New Jersey witchcraft.
Yeah.
It
looked like Flintstones
I was
pearls
literally
is what I loved
gonna say she'd be giving like Betty Rubble.
Yeah. Like she could do a whole Flintstones vibe and but elevated Flintstones. Like they had those nice dresses in Flintstones.
That's true. I mean,
I think that would be great.
Okay, this look though was kind of Flintstones-esque because I will say her hair was giving
so
kind
crazy.
of Flintstones.
No, I also loved that it seemed like her hair might complain about its day job.
Next up is Nicole Paige Brooks giving you a bathing suit and stars.
We both said it.
Courtney Cox rolling his hair.
Yeah. We both said at least it looked better on her than it did when it was hanging up. Because when she showed it to us in the workroom, we're like, oh, I don't know about this.
It looked better from far away. It's not going to win. No. And it is very much like a girl's first design challenge look.
But she said she learned to sew a week before.
Which is really funny. I was a little disappointed, I think, overall, with just how scaled down it was. I'm glad that she at least had that boa to give her some sort of fullness.
Yeah.
I really think, I was surprised she didn't choose just a better, bigger hair or just something more impressive. I was low-key shocked about just the flat hair. Well, you know what, y'all? Last, but certainly not least, is Miss Tina Burner. And Tina was in the top 2 this week.
She was.
I was very much underestimating her. I knew that she could sew, but also, can I just point out, I know they got those balls randomly. Did she just have, a magnetic draw to the red and gold?
Yeah.
Magic 8-ball? She's like, I am not wearing red and gold anymore. And then her magic 8-ball literally has red and gold.
I was almost questioning if there was some
setup.
There was some setup there that though they filmed it to look like the girls picked whichever ones they want, maybe they said you should pick that.
There's a little post-it note that said Tina Burner on that one.
Tina Burner, red and gold
no,
over
that's
here.
That's Tina's. This girl shocked, surprised, and classed up red and gold in a way that I did not know. As the judges said, I didn't know Tina Burner had this in her.
I wasn't even a big fan of the jacket, if I'm being honest. Mm-hmm. Even the jacket was super impressive, even if it wasn't something I would wear.
And the fact that she tastefully tucked that red away as the lining.
Oh, and what a great reveal when she whipped it off.
So by the end of the episode, after Miss Lydia and Tina lip sync, Lydia won, and she's got 3 points, and Tina has 2. Now, so let's talk about this lip sync. Mm-hmm. It was so fun. The song was just so upbeat. I loved Lydia's cute, current, fresh outfit interpretation with the jeans, with the flames and everything. Yeah. And I thought Lydia killed it on this lip sync. I love a girl that just tosses a wig. Yeah. And, I mean, she went for it. She attacked this lip sync.
She did. I felt like Tina went into it with a lot of confidence, especially because they were just heaping praise upon her about how impressed they were with all of the things she did that were incredibly impressive. Mm-hmm. But then I don't think she was quite ready for this lip sync, and maybe that hit her, because I feel like I felt her confidence just drop.
Yeah, I think once she realized how great Lydia was doing and how in the zone Lydia was doing, Tina ended up going to the back burner. Tina on the back burner a little bit. Because Lydia was just really giving it her all. I mean, Tina started out strong, like you said. She had a reveal.
It was a good reveal. It was, again, fiery. Yes. On brand for both.
I want to believe that Tina has left behind the flames and the burning thing, but once again, Drag Race is like making her do this.
Yeah.
Like Drag Race has said, you're going to have a red and gold 8-ball and this song is going to reference fire.
Yeah.
So now with Lydia and Tina at the top, everybody else is in the bottom, technically, even though Mistress was announced kind of in the top 3.
They were announced as a top 3. And then also you could, I mean, she was way too painted for much of a face crack, but I think you mentioned at least there's like a little bit of a head tilt of annoyance.
Yeah, she like tilted that head like.
And I get that because she and Tina Burner obviously were already like in the midst of a fight. Mm-hmm. And then at the same time, Lydia has applied to be her drag daughter.
Right. And now Lydia's in the top.
Lydia
with her rival.
And also Lydia won. And Mistress said, depending on how you do, maybe we'll talk.
Maybe there'll be an adoption. Maybe.
What are MVQs going to look like? Because they technically could give it to a winner.
Yeah.
They didn't last bracket, but they could.
They really could. I know we don't know how these girls are going to play this game.
Yeah.
Cut to the preview. I love that we see Nicole Paige Brooks not honoring the Brooks family alliance.
Yeah.
And I think she ends up giving it to Kerri or something like that. We'll see. And yeah, we'll just have to see how this shakes out. I'm sure Mistress is going to have feelings about Tina being on the top and everything like that. And they get to do a rap roast. So they're going to write rap lyrics and rap songs that are, you know, like a diss track. Like they're roasting the girls like a diss track.
Okay. I was a little confused when they were explaining with the next week on, so I'm glad you understood.
I did. I was like, ooh, feeling like very current. Like you can see that I joined TikTok.
And we're going to have Chapel Roan as a guest judge, which was another guest we had for this season, because it makes sense.
It just
totally makes sense.
Yes. So Jordan, who is your sip of the week? Ooh, let me get my cup.
Yeah. My sip of the week is going to be Lydia Butthole.
Oh, I love that.
I just love her so much. I'm so weirdly invested in her. I want to hear more about her and Corey. I want all the drama. I want all the alliances. I want none of the alliances to work and there be more drama.
Yes.
I can't wait for it.
I love that. I love that.
And I love her coming in, and so many of them are just like, who are you? I don't even know who you are.
Right.
It's very good. I can't wait for it. Anyway, who is your sip?
My sip of the week is I have to give it up for MIB. Mistress Isabell Brooks, top 3. She is my sip of the week because regardless of her placement in today's episode, I have just been so excited to see her. She's already giving us top-notch TV. The whole first episode was about her, like really.
It really was. It was the Mistress Isabell Brooks episode.
Yeah, so I'm ready to be at her meet and greet. I love her.
I'm excited about it as well. So sip to Mistress Isabell Brooks.
Now, Jordan, who is your spit of the week?
For the first time ever.
Oh.
My sip and my spit shall be the same.
What?
I'm going to spit Lydia's outfit. I really didn't care for it.
Okay.
I love that the judges saw something in it enough for her to win. I loved the performance she put on. That was terrific, and so she deserved that win. But I just didn't see it.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing zebra print right now, and I don't know.
You're shaking it up.
Yeah.
New bracket, new Jordan.
Sip and spit, both Lydia. It's kind of like what she said about Corey when they asked, what do you like about Corey? She goes, well, not her outfit. I'm going to say, not this outfit.
Not this outfit.
Yeah.
I love that. My spit is, although I love her and I'm already like getting the good TV feelings from her, is I do have to spit NPB, Miss Nicole Paige Brooks.
Okay.
Honestly, just for the 8-ball look that she made, I was just surprised. She could have I need her to like beef up the scale. Like, I need to see that you've been doing drag since 1995.
Yeah.
Like, because like her drag daughter Phoenix, she came in with like wigs stacked up to the ceiling and just all this like stuff. And like, I don't know, her coming out with that flat wig was just a little sad for me.
And though I didn't watch 2, I've seen enough even in the video packages, to see that it seemed like maybe that was a thing that's just kind of been a thing for her, was the flat wigs. So, Nicole, you need to pump up your wigs.
Yeah.
Pump them right up.
All right. Okay, Jordan, it's that time. What is your at the end of the day for the episode?
All right. My at the end of the day is video packages. And what I mean when I say that is Suzanne Barsh deserved at least a quick 30-second video package.
Definitely.
Explaining who she is, what she did, why she's significant, and why it's cool that she's there as a judge, because it was seriously cool. She did a lot of great stuff, a lot of cool stuff. What about you? What is your at the end of the day?
You know, my at the end of the day is just going to be a reminder to everybody, because I feel like I'm already like maybe feeling a little protective about Mistress, but she don't need protecting. She can protect herself.
Yeah.
But about specifically the fact that Mistress is reading the girls. Mistress is funny. Mistress is going to say things that may be perceived as like rude or whatever, but that's not what she's doing.
No.
Like, this is part of drag culture. Mistress embodies a piece of drag culture that if you are a drag queen, if you were in the dressing room, if you were doing shows, like if you were active in the drag community, what Mistress is doing is not controversial or like it's just a very,
it seems to be a big part of being a drag queen.
It is, yeah. And so I think Mistress just embodies a part of drag culture that is kind of usually reserved for, you know, just the girls doing the thing, like in the gigs. And so this is TV. We're all having a good time. So if anybody's like really upset by Mistress and is going to get offended by everything she says, well, honey, you're in for a long season, because I think she's going to go all the way. All right, Jordan, this was so much fun. Of course, we want to hear about everything that y'all thought about this very, very first bracket. Who do you think is going to make it to the end? What did you think about these outfits? And of course, who are your sips and spits of this week?
And what do y'all think is going to happen next week with these MVQs? Because I'm curious. Mistress says we'll see what happens, and maybe you could be my drag daughter. Is Mistress going to throw the winner a point, or would that be crazy? Who knows?
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, we'll see.
Because I'm like, if she's impressed, maybe she's going to throw Lydia at that point. I know that'd be crazy, but maybe.
Oh. Don't forget to support the channel, y'all, by liking the video and subscribing. Take care of yourself, divas. We will see you next time. Bye. And next up is Michelle. No. Shit. You should keep that in.